I am Pamela Erlin. I'm thinking that our viewers will increase here in a few moments as we get into the next 15 minutes. I did give it a little bit of extra time to let you guys get here, just so that you would get a chance to hear our special guest today. He is a master astrologist, and I really trust him on so many levels. I was telling Cassius when I first met him, I said, I have never met anyone like you with how you read astrology. It's so in depth. It goes back to the very beginnings of our time. So I want to introduce him, and without further ado, I'm just going to sit here and listen to all the brilliant things that he has to explain to you today about how he works and about manifestation and how it aligns with astrology. So enjoy!
Thanks. As many of you know, I'm Cassius Methel. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a thinker most of all. So today I'm going to talk about ways to strategically use astrology to actually manifest goals. And by manifestation, I mean pursuing a goal. It requires many steps and different things to attain. I think that manifestation can be described as the gravity towards destiny. When you try to manifest something that you intuitively feel is not going to happen, it's because it's probably not your destiny. So things that you feel intuitively drawn to, the reasons you make decisions, I feel like that's gravity towards destiny. And that's what manifestation is to me. So to pursue goals and to try to accomplish your destiny, there are kind of cosmic keys that you can use strategically to plan things for the best and make sure things go well. So one of the two most powerful cosmic keys to strategically planning things to attain your goals are the North Node and Jupiter. Jupiter is a benevolent source of positivity and expansion in the solar system. It's the most positive thing there is, except for the North Node, which is the point in your chart. It's your destiny. It's your soul's mission. It's the point at which the moon crosses the plane of all planets at any time of the month. So right now, I'm in a Jupiter era of mine. Jupiter, every 12 years, you get maybe 4 or 5 extreme Jupiter eras. That's where Jupiter makes positive angles to your sun or your moon or another planet. And that gives you just profound good luck. Eras of your life that you've experienced that have been unexplainably the best were probably influenced by Jupiter. So right now Jupiter is conjunct my moon. It's aligned with my moon. And a year ago I was planning on starting my astrology group this week. And that's why I did it. And it just took off. It blew up. And I wrote an article for Spirit Science that got 50,000 views last week at the peak of this, because Jupiter is conjunct my moon, and it's extremely significant. You can notice it. These keys, they're just incredible. Many people around the world currently utilize these astrological keys to make decisions. Many nations actually operate on the codes of astrology to make moves in accordance with the natal chart of the nation, the birthday of the nation. That's in mundane astrology. So to figure out what times of year and what times in that 12-year Jupiter cycle you're having positive aspects to your Jupiter, or Jupiter is making positive aspects to your planets, you have to simply take your birth chart and locate your natal Jupiter position, take your birth chart and find where Jupiter is in it. And then there are 3 or 4 times of the year where Jupiter makes the sun makes positive aspects to your Jupiter. Before I knew about this, I was writing articles for the anti-media, as I still do, and there were 3 times of the year where my articles went ultra viral. They got 500,000 views, one of them got 2 million views, and one of them got like 300,000. The day that it got 2 million views, that was one of the 2 times of the year. It makes a trine, part of like a triangle angle to my natal Jupiter. The sun does that. It lasts for like 2 days, and it's the best time of the year for any person. So that's what I call your Jupiter days. To determine what your Jupiter days are, find your natal Jupiter and find out what day it is when the sun makes a trine to your Jupiter. I tell people their Jupiter days, my clients in my astrology, and it's one of the most powerful things that I know of to actually, choose a day to manifest something, to focus on something, to have clear intuition, to have likely success if you try to do something. So these 3 times of year, they're the best times. The conjunction of the sun and your Jupiter, and the 2 trines of the sun to Jupiter of the year. Now, the other times of this 12-year cycle are when Jupiter makes angles to your sun or moon. Jupiter could trine your sun or moon. That would last for a month or 2, and if it gets caught in retrograde, it could be extended for like 3 or 4 months. So you have to locate the position of your Jupiter in your chart, and then figure out when other planets are going to hit these points in the zodiac that trine or conjoin your Jupiter. So once you discover these points in your chart, it's for instance 20 degrees Taurus and 20 degrees Capricorn. If your Jupiter were at 20 degrees Virgo, that would be the 2 trine positions to your Jupiter. So, or your sun, if Jupiter was aspecting you. So you have to locate these positions on your chart, and you have a set degree of a sign. That is the degree when any planet hits this degree, it trines your Jupiter. And that's when you want to plan things. There could be various times of the year where other planets trine your Jupiter, and it's the perfect time to plan things. And there's a time of the month, every month, where Jupiter conjoins or trines your Jupiter. And that's an opportunity every single month. So a time of month that you can plan anything you want to do. I do it every month, and I notice it every single time. It's more significant. Even during the day, you can plan for the time where your natal Jupiter is on the ascendant of the time of day. It's exactly on the horizon. And if you do that, it just makes it so much more likely for what your plans are, for them to come true. So the North Node is another place of positivity. It's your destiny, and if you work with the North Node on the horizon, then you're likely to encounter something that's significant to your destiny for every move you make. So I tend to post in groups about my astrology when it's on the North Node. The North Node is on the horizon, my North Node position. So when I do that, I always end up meeting people who I have some significance to their destiny. And it's clearly more powerful than if I were to do it at any time of day that wasn't that. So, though it might sound kind of complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not complicated. Once you know the positions in your chart that you need to look for, you can look at the astrology of every day, look at a horoscope, and, it's pretty easy. So, this last 4 years, the reason why it was a period of awakening was the Uranus-Pluto square. This last happened in 1933, and that caused revolutions across the world, and that's why we saw the largest protest in the history of the world in Egypt in 2013. There were 21 million people in attendance. The largest protest in the history of the entire world. We saw unprecedented revolution, creativity, and awakening the last 4 years. That was due to the Uranus-Pluto square. So we're currently moving away from that. And we have to take the energy that we acquired in that era of time, what we learned in that era of time, and solidify it in our consciousness to continue growing as people. So I consider there's an aspect this week that's extremely positive, a collective aspect for everyone. It's Jupiter trine Uranus. It's a period of expansion for knowledge and creativity. It's a really positive time of the desire to expand knowledge collectively. It complements the Uranus-Pluto square, the awakening era of the last 4 years. And as that fades, this is a final kind of goodbye to that energy. And this is going to solidify that positivity in our consciousness for the next 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks, you should utilize this Jupiter aspect to the fullest. Try to plan things, try to learn, and utilize your desire to learn during this time. And it's just really positive, you know. This is a good time to talk about this, and I've certainly been strategically planning with it. And so yeah, it complements the Uranus-Pluto square, and it's just important to enjoy your time and just sit here and, you know, revere in the energy. It fades and it won't come back for 7 years. So enjoy it to the fullest and just appreciate the times we're living in, you know. It's just pretty unprecedented, this awakening. It's not going to happen for, let's see, 84 more years.
Oh, wow.
This era, yeah, this era from 2011 to 2015. But in 2024, we're going to have the Uranus-Pluto trine, which is a very positive awakening aspect that will solidify further what we've started this era. And it's going to, basically, it's going to be a positive time of expansion. This was a square is a tense angle inherently, but we needed a Uranus-Pluto square isn't tense like other angles, but it's extremely intense awakening, disturbingly intense awakening if you interpret it like that. But it's ultimately extremely positive. So I hope you appreciate, you know, this time, this era of time we've gone through the last 4 years, and to find out your Jupiter days, my page is Tryptamine Astrology Readings. That's my Facebook page. My group is Tryptamine Astrology and True Mysticism. I could link it in the comments or something, and yeah, we can tell people their Jupiter days for some tip or something maybe. On certain days I give free readings, and you know, it's an extremely useful tool. It's more practically useful than almost anything else I can think of, so that's pretty much all I had to say.
Awesome. I look forward to it. And make sure that you put your link in the chat so that we know how to find you. And that's really clear information. I knew something was going on that I couldn't quite put my finger on that made an interesting time for us to have an abundance workshop. So
Definitely a perfect time for this.
yeah.
So yeah, hope you like it, and I'll link you in the comments real quick now.
Yeah.
And the floor is yours.
I thank you so much for being here. This Cassius is really, really amazing, amazingly, wonderfully accurate, powerful astrologist. And you know, like I said, I don't meet too many like him that get into depth with how astrology can really work for your life. But not just that, if you should really read some of his articles and some of his blogs, because and he can link you some of those too. They really go back to the beginnings of time, like your whole origins. And you know how I am about origins and how like obsessive I am about teaching you guys that. So he's right up your alley, and I really suggest that you follow him. You know, anyone who's going to be watching this archive, you know, really want to go check out his Facebook group, you know, Tryptamine Astrology and True Mysticism, you know, or his website. And what is your YouTube, Cassius?
I just started a YouTube just called Tryptamine Astrology, but I'll link that too.
Okay.
And thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate it.
Namaste.
So yeah.